If you get pulled over and you blow a 0.00, are you automatically good? Because in Minnesota, Rusty James Moore would tell you apparently not. This clip has been circulating everywhere and the reactions are split. Some people think the officer completely overstepped. Others say if they kept investigating, there must have been a reason. So instead of yelling past each other, let's slow it down. Let's do a walkthrough of exactly what happened, what led to the stop, why 0.00 didn't end it, and where things stand now. So here's the confirmed timeline. On May 31st, 2024, dispatch received a call about a tan sedan driving all over the road on Highway 27 towards Little Falls, Minnesota. The caller stayed on the line and continued giving updates. Before a state trooper even located the vehicle, a Little Falls police officer initiated the stop. The reasons listed were an inoperable taillight, a cracked windshield, and what the officer described as jerky movements within the lane. After that, Minnesota State Patrol Trooper Megan Bozer arrived and took over the investigation. So on paper, this wasn't a random stop. It was based on a citizen report, equipment issues, and reported driving behavior. Now to the part that surprises most people. Moore was given a breathalyzer test. The result? 0.00. No alcohol detected. For a lot of us, this feels like the moment things should have been de-escalated, but legally, a 0.00 only answers one question. Are you impaired by alcohol? It does not answer whether an officer believes impairment could be caused by something else. According to the court records, the trooper believed there were indicators consistent with drug impairment, not alcohol. Moore stated he had a prescription for Adderall and had taken it earlier that day as prescribed. At that point, the investigation shifts categories. It's no longer an alcohol DWI, it becomes a suspected drug impairment case. And whether you agree with that decision or not, that distinction matters. Now let's talk about the clip everyone's reacting to. The viral video is a short, edited TikTok-style montage. It shows Moore outside the vehicle, clearly confused and frustrated. And then it cuts to him sitting in the back of a squad car. That footage absolutely communicates how jarring the experience can be from his perspective, especially since he kept reiterating he was on his way to his daughter's graduation, and he couldn't afford to miss it. What it doesn't show is the full driving behavior, the entire testing process, or every interaction that led up to the arrest. So when people say the officer is being disruptive or escalating unnecessarily, that's an interpretation based on the tone and outcome of the short video that's been going around. It's not something that the clip alone can conclusively prove, and that distinction matters if we're trying to be fair. As for the results so far, this situation has played out on two separate tracks. On the civil side, Moore challenged that they revoked his driver's license. The Minnesota Court of Appeals upheld that they did continue to revoke his license. The Minnesota Supreme Court later declined to review the case. The decision stands. On the criminal side, the case has continued through the courts, which is why people accurately say he's still fighting the charges. And this is where I think the conversation needs to shift. The real conversation here isn't whether Rusty James Moore was innocent or guilty. That's for the courts to decide. The bigger question is this: how do we create a clear, consistent standard for drug impairment claims, so someone's life doesn't get derailed before guilt is ever even proven? Because with consequences like this, there's license loss, public arrest, legal fees, and long court battles. It all happens before the case is even resolved. The process itself, it becomes a punishment, especially if the person ultimately turns out to be innocent. That's not anti-police, that's not anti-law, that's asking whether the system has enough guardrails when alcohol isn't involved, and the determination becomes more subjective than objective.